Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki spiritual healer. So we have these fake people that we have been around all of our lives that have been pretending to be family members and friends. They have been pretending so long that they don't even look surprised anymore. When your issues fail or fall through, when your life falls apart, they don't look surprised anymore because in many cases they are behind it. So we have these pretending people, these fake people, these false people that live in an inverted reality where they want everything upside down so that they can have your life. They want your life. And again, for these people, I've had, family members not understand that, I knew when they were giving me the kiss of death. I knew that they were using witchcraft, and I said nothing to them. I knew when they were using the evil eye against me. Okay? I could understand that these people did not want the best for me. Okay, so we have these understandings that these pretenders, these people who live in an inverted reality, they want things to be upside down. They want things to go wrong for you so that they can receive the benefits of your gifts. They can receive the benefits of your light. They want to take your light. So these people have sent death spells to me. They have used black magic on me. They've done everything that they can do. They've tried to send me to jail so that I would be locked up the rest of my life. They've tried to do different types of attacks upon me, and they have failed. And the entity is coming to collect. I have taught you the spiritual defense, and a lot of you have been cleansing with me, and you're seeing the fallout in your homes, in your community, just like I have been explaining to you what has happened in my past. Those people who want you to be sick. I've had people, again, that, say, well, I got diabetes. Do you have any sicknesses? Anytime that a person is asking you these types of questions, they're wishing something negative upon your health. They're wishing that you were sick. I've got people in my family, that who are warlocks and witches in this way, that have wished that I stayed in poverty so that I would be enslaved to them. So they did not understand, and I'm just gonna, bust them out today, because a lot of you are going through this, and you think that it's irrelevant, whether you cleanse or not, whether you pray or not. But it is definitely a part of the healing process in order to cleanse these people out of your life. And like I say, I've had neighbors that have sent me death spells, put a fish on my porch. I throw it in the backyard, in the house, behind me, and the house catches on fire. So we have these types of negative people who live in an inverted reality, that they want your life and they will try to kill you in order to get it. A lot of you who have been cleansing these types of people, when you start cleansing these types of narcissists, when you start cleansing these types of spiritual narcissists, demonic narcissists, when you start cleansing these types of people who, you have believed had your best interest, who have been holier than thou, and they have been siphoning your energy, your health energy, your finances, they have been siphoning your children's energy and your family's energy. Okay. And now you're understanding that, they were not going to tell you the truth about how to cleanse yourself using the holy books, because a lot of them did not understand how to use the books in a religious aspect of how to cleanse the negative energy. They only had certain understandings of how to cleanse this negative energy from you. And usually it was from a practitioner standpoint, from a warlock and witch standpoint, because they were not good people. They were using the types of rituals that were, connected to the warlocks and witches of the past. And that is all that the entity had given them. That is all that our parents were using. The negative energy, the vibration of anger, belittlement, talking loud to people, downing people, abusing people, hurting people. These types of things will only work if, a person is going to stay in that kind of light. They're going to stay in that kind of energy, that depressing state where, they are feeling themselves in need of being around these people, of being down by these people. That's the only time where they feel themselves endeared to these people. Okay, so a lot of these people that we have been working with, a lot of the empaths, a lot of the empaths, a lot of the chosen ones who have walked into their power, who have cleansed themselves of the negative energy, who are standing in their power, who are, able to stand up and walk away from these types of negative people, have realized that the cleansing mechanisms is very necessary. The cleansing rituals, the cleansing methods, the materials that God has given us in the holy books is very necessary to apply all of the holy book, not just some of it. Okay, so a spiritual defense requires you, it is required that you go through methods and rituals. You cannot just say that I'm just going to pray. I'm just going to pray and I'm going to, let Jesus take care of it and let people attack me. Then, you're not going by what the holy books say. So we have to make sure that we have these understandings, that when we start using the materials, the methods that God has given us, the crystals, the black stones that God has given us, He has given us, the jewels of the earth, the diamonds, the rubies, they are all good for healing. They were given to us by God. The earth has given us these types of herbs in order to heal ourselves, not only medicinal. I can't get it out today, guys. We have to be able to heal ourselves. That's what, these narcissists have taken our medical herbs, knowledge, in order to cleanse, the medical field of different kinds of diseases. So it's not only for that purpose, it's also to cleanse yourself from negative energy. You're able to cleanse yourself and identify people so that you can get away from these people. You can have a choice. You have a choice. Either you're going to stay around the narcissist or clean them out your life. You're going to allow them to siphon your energy, or you're going to stand up and fight. And it's just not from a spiritual defense. In many cases, I have had to stand up and physically fight these narcissists. And if you do not want to do that, then, then there is a penalty for not doing what God has told you to do. Okay. And let that be the reason. I have been trying to get away from, people, most of my life. I really would just like to, just live in peace and make my tinctures and make my oils and, heal people. I really would like to do that. I really would, like to go and mess with people's computers. Okay. But at this point, we understand that these people do not like for people to have gifts better than them. We understand that they have to be cleansed from our lives, because they will set up on us, and they will keep setting up on us until the negative energy goes over into our children. It goes over, the black magic goes over into our health, where you cannot have children, or you only attract negative energy, or you only attract negative people. This is people, places, and things. I have had fake people, pretending people attack me most of my life with manipulation, with the evil eye. And I cannot say this enough, with sorcery and black magic. This is why I left Georgia. This is why, I was glad that God called me on this mission. I was glad that he separated me from those people. And when you are a chosen one, you will understand this, that you will have to be separated from these people, because nobody can know everything. In many cases, these types of narcissists, and I can say this is true for my husbands as well, that a lot of them will shelter you so that, nobody else can look at you or be with you, because they are in competition. Some of them are jealous of you, and it is natural for them not to want another man to look at you, but it is not natural for your husbands to not share wisdom and not, respect the word of God, and share the word of God, and talk about the Holy Quran, talk about the verses of the Holy Quran, talk about the Bible. It's unnatural that they have nothing to say, and they give no, understanding for the holy books, because they had none. Okay, it was more about this world. So we want to make sure that when we're cutting off people, we're cutting them off for the right reasons, that they are not, living by the word of God. They want you to live by the word of God. They want you to be the empath. They want you to be meek and meager under them, so that they can siphon your energy, and they can be narcissistic and demonic in your life, so that they can carry out attacks in your life with the evil eye. And again, I have gotten this from men and women. So we have to make sure that when we are moving away from these pretenders, they know why. They know why. Because you have attacked me. You have sent death spells to me. I could take it from my neighbor. I could have accepted it that my neighbor was a hater. But someone that's close to me, I could accept it that, a friend came and in my house and picked up something that didn't belong to them. Okay. But someone that is blood, a relative, family, that, would come into your home and pick up things that don't belong to them, that hate you, to run smear campaigns. No, these are all witchcraft attacks upon your life. And you have to be able to cleanse these people, move away from these fake people. And in many cases, when you do this, it will end up like the story of Moses and Pharaoh. It will end up, where the entire people followed him into a disaster. And many times in your family right now, a lot of the people that you have been cleansing, once you started cleansing on this channel, you have been seeing them fall by the wayside, and they have ended up in the disaster, in the health disaster that they wanted you in. They have ended up in the enslaved disaster that they wanted you in. And you have to make sure that you are in a position to move away from these people, and you have to constantly pray against these people. You have to constantly set boundaries for these people, because they'll try to come back and say, oh, I apologize. I didn't mean it like that. But, God knows everything that you did. and the way your behavior is, for many of the people that I know, and I'm gonna say it again, a lot of them cannot come back because their behavior, their skins bear witness against them. That they meant it, they intentionally meant it, and if they had another chance, they would do it again. And for many of you out there, it is just like that with you as well. So be careful, guard yourself against these pretenders, these fakers, these evil people. They are using witchcraft, and they want to renew their spell over your hearts and minds. They want to stagnate your feet. They want to stagnate your health. So I hope you received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me so that I can send you Bible verses or Quranic verses in order to pray over your life. Book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions so that I can acclimate a gift to you. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.